The worst side effect of narcissistic abuse is that it will make victims sickly. People who've been with narcissists often seem to fall apart health-wise. It's not just in their heads, there are real reasons behind it. Narcissistic abuse can mess with your mind and body in ways you might not expect. When you're stuck in a whirlwind of manipulation and emotional chaos, your physical and mental health are at risk. Today, we're diving into 10 reasons why those affected by narcissistic abuse become sickly. Are you ready for number 1? Sleep disruption. Narcissistic abuse is like having an all-you-can-eat buffet of stress and sleepless nights. And guess what? Your body's not exactly thrilled about it. Imagine your sleep as a repair crew for your body, and narcissistic abuse is like a constant, loud party keeping them from getting any work done. According to Dr. Robert Epstein, sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And when your sleep is disrupted by the constant emotional chaos of narcissistic abuse, it's like trying to run a marathon on a flat tire. You end up feeling sick and run down because your body's not getting the downtime it needs to fend off the germs and keep you in top shape. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic nightmare, remember that catching some quality Z's isn't just a good idea. It's a crucial part of your health strategy. Let's talk about number 2. Poor nutrition. When you're tangled up with a narcissist, your diet might start looking like a buffet of junk food and skipped meals. Think of it as a foodie's worst nightmare. Stress and depression can mess with your appetite, turning you into a culinary minimalist or pushing you straight into the arms of comfort food. Dr. Joan Borisenko puts it perfectly. Stress eats your body's ability to manage your weight and health. So when you're stuck in the emotional tornado of narcissistic abuse, you might end up munching on chips instead of carrots or skipping meals altogether, leaving your body to fend for itself on a diet of despair. No wonder you feel run down. Your body's running empty with a side of, "Please get me out of here." Let's move on to number 3. Weakened immune system. Being caught in a narcissistic whirlwind is like having a permanent stress fest. And guess what? Your immune system is the poor soul left to clean up the mess. Chronic stress and emotional turmoil are the kryptonite for your immune system, making it about as effective as a paper shield in a dragon fight. Dr. Bruce McEwen says, chronic stress is a major culprit in the breakdown of the immune system. So when you're dealing with narcissistic nonsense, your body's defense squad is busy binge-watching drama rather than fighting off those pesky germs. It's no surprise you catch every cold and flu in sight. Your immune system's too exhausted from dealing with emotional chaos to bother with actual illnesses. Now let's continue to number 4. Heart health. Imagine your heart is trying to chill out and enjoy life, but instead it's stuck in a never-ending episode of a stressful drama series thanks to narcissistic abuse. That constant emotional roller coaster can turn your heart from a relaxed lounge lizard into a high-strung, hyped-up mess. Dr. Michael Apter puts it bluntly, chronic stress is a well-documented risk factor for heart disease. So when you're navigating the narcissistic nightmare, your heart's working overtime, dealing with high blood pressure and other heart issues like it's got a full-time job in chaos management. It's like your heart's on a treadmill that only speeds up, and it's getting no breaks. No wonder it's feeling a bit under the weather. You shouldn't miss number 5. Gastrointestinal problems. Dealing with a narcissist can turn your stomach into a drama queen, with anxiety and stress making your digestive system feel like it's auditioning for a role in a horror movie. All that emotional upheaval can trigger or worsen issues like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or ulcers, turning your gut into a very unruly, very noisy rebel. Dr. Johnny Sarno sums it up. Stress and anxiety are well known to exacerbate gastrointestinal problems. So while your stomach is busy staging protests with cramps and discomfort, your digestive system screams, "Can someone get me out of this mess?" No wonder you feel more like a ticking time bomb than a content human being. Are you still up for number 6? Psychosomatic symptoms. When you're tangled up in narcissistic abuse, your mind gets so stressed, which often comes in the form of mysterious aches and pains. It's like your brain is throwing a tantrum and dragging your body into it. Dr. Herbert Benson explains it well. Psychosomatic symptoms are physical symptoms caused by mental stress. So while you're trying to navigate the emotional minefield of narcissism, your body might suddenly decide it needs a backache or a migraine just to add a little extra drama. Stress makes your body stage for a never-ending, uncomfortable performance. Let's keep it moving to number 7. Reduced resilience. If you're constantly dealing with narcissistic abuse, it's like your emotional resilience is on a permanent vacation, leaving you ill-equipped to handle even the most minor stressors. Do you know how a once strong shield can get battered until it's barely a paper shield? That's your resilience after continuous emotional battering. According to Dr. Judith Orloff, emotional abuse can erode your mental resilience and make you more vulnerable to stress. So while you're struggling to bounce back from everyday challenges, your coping ability is as practical as a sponge in a storm. The emotional toll leaves you feeling like you're constantly running on empty, and even minor stressors seem like they're packing a punch. Here comes number 8. Increased risk of chronic illness. When you're living in the whirlwind of narcissistic abuse, your stress levels are incredibly high. This non-stop stress fiesta doesn't just make you feel lousy, it's also rolling out the red carpet for chronic illnesses like diabetes and autoimmune disorders. Dr. Bruce McEwen puts it aptly. Chronic stress wears down your body's defenses, making you more susceptible to serious illnesses. So while you're trying to navigate the emotional minefield, your stress is busy setting up shop in your body's welcome area for long-term health problems. It's like your stress levels are throwing a wild party, and unfortunately, your health is stuck with the cleanup crew. We are moving on to number 9. Compromised recovery. When you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, it's like your body's recovery process is constantly getting stuck in traffic because of emotional stress. So while you're trying to bounce back from an illness or injury, that stress is like the annoying detour that keeps you from getting to the finish line. Dr. Judith Orloff says, chronic stress can significantly hinder your body's ability to heal and recover. Instead of speeding up recovery, your stress slams on the brakes and throws a wrench. It's like your healing process is trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of emotional baggage. Good luck making it to the end. Finally, we're down to number 10. Neglect of preventive care. You're so preoccupied with the abuser's needs that your health takes a back seat, which means you might skip routine checkups or exercise like it's the wrong date you're trying to avoid. Dr. David D. Burns notes, when you're consumed by stress, self-care often falls by the wayside. So while you're busy with the emotional roller coaster, those vital health screenings and daily wellness routines might get pushed aside, making it easier to miss early signs of health issues. It's like prioritizing a lousy TV show over your health. Eventually, you'll miss your critical well-being episodes. To wrap it up, those are the 10 reasons why narcissistic abuse can make people feel so unwell. When you're constantly dealing with manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional turmoil, your body can end up paying the price. The good news is that knowing these impacts gives a clear path to recovery. Seeking professional help can make a huge difference, whether it's through therapy, counseling, or medical support. And don't forget about self-care. It's a crucial part of returning to feeling like yourself. Simple things like setting boundaries, practicing relaxation techniques, and engaging in activities you enjoy can go a long way. It's all about giving yourself the time and support you need to heal. Hang in there. You're not alone in this, and with the right help and self-care, you can find your way back to a healthier, happier you.